Pope Leo XIV celebrated his first Mass on Friday, a day after his historic election as the first North American Pope in the Catholic Church's 2,000-year history, while congratulations poured in from world leaders and statesmen at the start of his papacy. On Thursday, Cardinal Robert Prevost emerged onto the loggia of St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican following the conclave and the appearance of white smoke from the Sistine Chapel chimney, signaling that a new pontiff has been chosen. Joining us now is the rector of St. Paul's College at the University of Manitoba, Christopher Adams. Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Rochelle. Nice to be on your show again.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, we know you very well as adjunct professor of political studies at U of M, but you're also a rector. Tell us about that role.
Well, the rector is an old-fashioned expression for college president. So I'm president of St. Paul's College, which is a Jesuit-endorsed college here at the University of Manitoba. So that's the hat I'm wearing on your show today.
Okay, well, let's go back now to this new pope. What do we know about Cardinal Robert Prevost?
Well, we know he's an American, and that was a big surprise to many people. But we also know that he's a naturalized Peruvian. He took out citizenship in Peru. He was served as a cardinal for many years there, and he's also was elevated by Pope Francis to a higher role at the Vatican. So he's got Vatican-related administrative experience, very high-level experience. Also, a very close connection to Latin America. But also, he grew up in the United States and he studied in the United States. He's originally from Chicago. So there are many people who expect him to be carrying on from where Pope Francis left off.
Now, the fact that he is from the U.S., do you think that says something from the cardinals who selected him?
Well, I think the cardinals, and it was a very diverse group of cardinals from around the world who are making the selection. But we do know that when they make the selection of the Pope, there are many factors that get brought into the decision-making process. But one of them is from a global perspective. There's a lot of things happening around the world that the Vatican gets involved with. So one, of course, is Donald Trump and the things happening in the United States, but also international crises. We've got India and Pakistan on the brink of full-blown war. We've got issues in Gaza and Israel, Russia's invasion of Ukraine and that ongoing war. So there's a lot of things going on that the Vatican is dealing with, and the new Pope will have to be involved with. Also, just a huge issue of migration and refugees in the globe. So Donald Trump and things happening in the United States is just one element within the whole global picture, Rochelle.
Okay, so now the Pope selected the name of Leo XIV. What is the significance of that selection?
Well, you know, when Francis, when Pope Francis, when he chose his name Francis, it was highly significant. And this time around, too, as Leo was a close companion of St. Francis of Assisi, so we know there's a linkage there. But also Pope Leo the 13th, I believe, in the late 1800s, was known as someone bringing the church more into the modern world with an encyclical called, let's get it right, Rerum Novarum, and that dealt with in the late 1800s with the church in the world of capitalism and worker rights and things like that. So it connects the Pope to elements of social justice, I believe.
Also, even the first Pope Leo was significant as well. He managed to turn Attila the Hun away from sacking the city of Rome.
Well, Rochelle, here you're teaching me something.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so he was selected by Pope Francis recently and turned into a cardinal just recently as well. Yeah. What do you think that says about their relationship?
Well, I think that it showed that Francis had a lot of trust, and possibly Francis saw him as a successor. Also, the position he was in as our new bishop here in Winnipeg, Bishop Murray Chatelain, was saying in the media just recently that Prevost had a role in appointing him as a bishop here in Winnipeg. So there's a significance there. But also, Francis was opening up not large parts, but small elements of the hierarchy to women, and Pope Leo, the new Pope Leo, was involved with that, with Francis's endeavors. So I do see some further opening up of things that Francis started doing, and hopefully Prevost will continue.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for giving us your perspective this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Rochelle. Nice to speak to you again.
You too.